Been a while. I feel like I say that almost every video now, but this time it's really been a long time. I have my shirt off. It's 33 degrees outside. Boiling. I think this is the hottest it's ever been for me. I've ever experienced outside. I think the second hottest was 29 degrees. I don't think it's, or maybe it was 30 degrees, and that was back in 2014, I believe. Yeah, like elementary school era. No, wait, then it wouldn't have been 2014. It would have been like 2012. Yeah. I just specifically remember in the class that we talked about how 2016 was the next time there was going to be a leap year. I knew it wasn't 2016, but I knew 2016 was like close by. But it was like, whoa, 2016, that's so much, that's so far in the future. I wonder what's going to happen in 2016. What did happen in 2016? Let's be real. Anyways, um, digital. Okay, so last video, I think it was last video, I talked about digital having a digital footprint and how there was some guy who was saying how you have to be careful about what you post online. And if you post something online and you say, I hope these people don't see it, then don't post it online. That's what he was saying, at least. But I don't agree with that. And I was talking with a friend and I fleshed out more. I realized now why it is that I don't agree with that. I'm not just being contrarian. The lighting is so weird because there's a bunch of clouds passing by, I guess, and it's so it gets really bright sometimes and then dim. Anyways, I fleshed it out with a friend. I figured it out. Kind of just thinking more about it, and it's so. How do I phrase this? When I'm talking with my friends versus my family, it's very different. I mean, the way that I act around my friends and the way that I act around my family is not bipolar, but I guess it's not super different now, but it used to be very different when I was much younger. And I realized this, like my personality is just what I feel like I have two parts that I'm playing. I don't know if this is natural. And I thought about it more and I realized, well, my dad probably has that too. And I think I remember thinking, does my does my dad swear? And I think there was something to suggest that he did. Can't remember. I mean, I don't know for sure. But yeah, there was I think it was soccer. I saw him with his soccer buddies, like he was playing soccer and he was on the bench and he was talking and whatever. But I didn't hear him swear, but it just made me think the way he acts around his friends and the way he acts around us, the family, me and my brother and my mother, it's different. It's likely different, at least to a little bit. Surely it's different. So, what I conclude basically, I'm making this point because there are things that I'm proud of that I don't necessarily want my family or really close people seeing. And that's not an indication that I shouldn't post it. It's just an indication because I'm comfortable with other people seeing that. And maybe you could say that's a red flag. You don't want your very close family members to see it, but you're fine with complete strangers to seeing it. Like that massive red flag. No, I don't think that's the case because your family sees you as something, and breaking out of that. Like, for example, my family seeing me shirtless, like walking around the house shirtless. That's, to me, it's weird. But I'm comfortable doing it here because we're less close. It's it's so hard to explain, but I think people will understand that idea that you are a different version of yourself around your family and around your friends. And one of my friends comes to mind actually, where his mom came over one time to his house, and me and my friend were, I guess I'll give more specifics. So I went over to his place, his renting place, and he's rooming with his friend and his girlfriend. And his mom came over and she was really happy to see him, and I realized they're actually really close. They're they're very close. They probably talk way more. They definitely talk way more often than I do with my parents, which isn't, like, I should make a better effort to talk with my parents more often. And I think they would like that. But it's also right. So when the way he talked and everything, it felt like it was the same. Like he said some really strange things, and I was like, whoa, you talk like that in front of your mom. You're not that formal in front of your mom. That's so strange. You make the same jokes that you would with us in front of your mom. So that opened my eyes to a new world, to seeing that you could be the same person you are in front of your family. I mean, as long as it's not the crude part of yourself, like where you're. I think there's a crude part, mainly in guys, where it's like guy friends. There's certain things that you just don't say in front of your family. I know swearing is also really controversial. Like when you go over to your friend's house, you don't swear. And I appreciate that when my friends don't swear in front of my parents like that. It would make it really awkward if they did. And I wouldn't like it. And I know my parents wouldn't like it either. So that's that. What else do I say about that? Yeah, so then you could, yeah. Okay, continuing on. So why am I posting this publicly? I've mentioned it a few times, but I don't know if I'm fully convinced. Like, why do I want people to know this information that I'm speaking about? And a lot of it is very personal information. And even some of it is not really applicable to other people's. I guess you could always apply it to another person's life, but for the most part, it's just me ranting for the simple sake of me ranting and just me wanting to talk. But I want to skew this channel more, or at least these vlogs, not this channel, these vlogs to be more about helping other people and giving advice or giving my experience and helping people who have gone through my experience a little more, enlighten them a little more to help them just help other people. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the whole point of life, I would say. I know other people disagree. And, okay, another thing I should mention, so I don't want my I don't want my very close family to, and there's even some episodes, some vlogs where it's like, even my very close friends, I kind of don't want them seeing this. I kind of don't want them to know, but I'm If they do, it's cool. And I remember the very first time I posted, first couple of videos I posted, they were really embarrassing. At least I was really embarrassed to post them. I think I didn't even post them publicly originally. I had them private. Oh, there's one, the very, very first one I posted private, and I have still not released that. I don't think I might release it, maybe. I don't think there's much of a point to it, though. But you could argue what's the point of the rest of this. Anyways, I posted the first couple ones, and a couple days later, my friend DMs me on Discord, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I agree with that," or whatever. I was like, "What? I saw your video." "Oh, how did you find me?" "Well, we were subscribed. I was subscribed to you for some reason." It's like, "Oh, damn." Don't remember that, but now I do. I didn't remember that, but now I do. And it was kind of embarrassing, but it was also like, I'm glad that somebody, I don't know, acknowledges me. It's nice. It like cares about me enough to watch a video. And I mean, he kept on watching for a while too. He would be like, "Oh, I watched this video too," and I really like that. That is really nice. It's yeah. Um, what am these tangents, man? I'm gonna blame it on the fact that it's just been a while since I've uploaded. Um, and I think, okay, because I'm going off of these tangents and I'm taking so long, and it's not even a matter of being more concise, because the thoughts that you spew out as you're speaking, it's really hard to be concise. And you kind of can't. Because if you're trying to get all of this information and you're thinking through it while you're speaking, so you can't like speed up your thinking to get to a certain point. I mean, unless you're making an argument, you can't speed it up because I'm just speaking about what I'm thinking. And however long it takes me, it takes me. And I realized this in another video where I was talking for a while and I restarted. I restarted 3 or 4 times, and every single time it took around the same amount of time. I think the first one was the shortest actually, and the second one I was like, okay, now I have to put this in, I'll take this out, I'll make this quicker. And I was speed running, and still it took so long just because I'm thinking through it, and there's no way to speed run it. I mean, if you were to speed run it, it'd be artificial. It would be scripted. So I'm happy with it not being scripted, but it's just going to take more time. And I'm going for the authentic vibe. But that means that, yeah, it's going to take a bunch of time. What am I going to, like, I'm not getting under 20 minutes for this video, likely, very likely. And, right, so I'm considering even cutting up videos now. I want the authentic vibe, but I also want, I mean, my inspiration for, I should stop saying fillers. My inspiration was this was Gerbert Johnson. And he's basically got the same style where he talks about things that have been on his mind. But usually it's not things that are personal. It's things that are cultural phenomenon. And a lot of that is just black pill or red pill things. And there's one, he has 2 channels, and one of the channels he talks about, he says it's unedited, but it's still edited. He still cuts and everything, and he still puts pictures up, so it's minimal editing, but he does still edit, and I think the reason is because he takes way too long to talk. I mean, he makes a 20-minute video, but it's likely around an hour, if not more. I'm realizing as I'm doing these vlogs, it's got to be at least an hour. Just how many rambling thoughts you have and how hard it is to focus on what you're saying and make a point while nobody else is speaking to you. You come up with ideas, and usually these ideas are directed to be, I mean, when do you talk to yourself? Okay, people do talk to themselves, but when are you ever judged on being talking to yourself? Never. But when you're talking to people, you are judged by the other person. So you have to optimize for that. And now it's a challenge to split that in two. Like, how do I describe it? You have to get better at monologuing. Everyone is used to dialoguing. Everyone's good at, there are some people that are bad, but you're good at dialoguing, but you haven't ever practiced monologuing. And now, when I try to monologue, or if you were to try to monologue, it's actually very difficult. I don't even know why I went onto that tangent, for example. Like, this is absurd. And so my point is, I think I'm going to cut videos. Like, okay, I don't know if I don't think I'm going to cut videos, actually, because I am going for that authentic vibe. So I think the instant that I cut a video, it's just, well, why am I even going for this vibe? Like, if I were to cut it, then I might as well just cut a bunch of it and make a script. The idea too is that, I mean, I lessen your attention span. You listen to this and you gain attention span. I don't think that's far-fetched at all, actually. And I am serious when I say that. I mean, I'm half serious. I kind of mean it jokingly, but I believe it to be true. If you listen to this full video, like, there's no way your attention span decreased. If anything, it increased. You got a better attention span than most people. A big part of attention span is just sitting through boredom. Just recognizing it and just being okay with it, and not going on your phone, swiping to the next video, swiping to the next reel, checking your messages. Back on topic though. Yeah, it's not a big deal if my employer saw this. I don't care. So I wouldn't say it's really, like, yes, there are some people that I would rather not see it, but even if they see it, I'm fine with it, and I'm happy. I'm okay. And it would be a little awkward. I mean, certain videos, they would be awkward if they saw it, but then they would see it and they'd understand, and then I would have a appreciation for them as well for seeing it, and they would understand me better. They would understand the inner workings of my mind better. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference in the end if they do see it, because they learn more about me. And the reason I was considering cutting the video was because I'm thinking more about creating content for people to enjoy, but mainly to benefit from it. And talking about myself is too selfish, and it doesn't really help other people much. But if I focus on it being applicable, then it will help other people. I think it'd be more, I mean, this is my opinion. I think it would benefit other people if I were to focus on being applicable to other life situations just being general advice rather than just ranting and talking about myself. But then you could also say, well, you're just trying to conform and generalize, and there's already a saturated market for that. So why do something that's already completely saturated when you could go into your own niche and you could thrive in your own niche, or at least have fun in your own niche? You know what? Good speech, Felipe. I think you're right. You're right. I won't change the style. The Rocket League, though. The Rocket League is kind of suspicious. Like, why am I putting Rocket League on this if I just want people to hear my Well, no, it is nice. It is nice when you get to see Rocket League gameplay on the side. Like, yeah, you decrease attention span, but it's just nice. It's like something to visually stimulate you while you're just listening to the vibes. I would have podcasts on the side while I was playing Rocket League. I used to do that, but now it's just music. And I enjoyed that. I mean, you could say that you're overstimulating yourself and you're reducing your attention span, but I don't think my attention span is bad. I think it's better than most people's. Almost definitely at my age, it's very good. Not to brag or anything. Um, yes, fillers. I love fillers. Oh, there was another. Okay, so this is the second part of the video, I guess, if you even made it this far. This is more just for me. I mean, it always has been, right? Yeah, it always has been. Yeah. So today I am gonna post on Instagram, and I made a really big deal out of it. So I'm now treating Instagram as more of a dating app where the pictures that you post should be really high quality, or, okay, not necessarily high quality, but they should portray you in a good light to a prospective mate. Basically, you want that to attract other people. You want that to attract a potential partner. That makes me realize the certain things that I should put on my Instagram, actually. I was mainly focusing on aesthetic photos of myself, but now I realize, well, actually, what am I looking for in a girlfriend? Catholic. And maybe I should post some sort of Catholic. I mean, I have a cross and I have Catholic in my bio, so I think that's enough. But once you post a picture of you at church, it's very strange. I don't like it for some reason. And you could argue maybe I should like it because it would be a bad thing to not like it, but yeah, why don't I like it? I might have to dissect that off cam. But I was really overthinking it. Me and my friend did a photo shoot. Actually, the friend that I went over to and his mom came over to his house or to his renting place. So we went and did a photo shoot, and there were some photos that turned out so well. I mean, there were so many photos that turned out so well, but you can actually only put 10 photos max on an Instagram collection. Fun fact. Didn't know that. and now I know. So that's how many photos I was thinking of even putting. But I ended up focusing, I think I decided 9. Oh, man, like, I think I'm gonna end up having to make 2 posts because there's 2 different distinct times. And okay, well, I'll get to the main point. I made a post with my yeah, I was really struggling with deciding what to post. I was like, oh, I have to remove this photo. Like, I really want to make it concise. So I only wanted like 4, 5 pics, but it ended up being like 7. So that's really pushing it. And it's also like, it's also some of it. Like, some of it is just unorganized in the way that it's put. It's very hard to explain, but without seeing the pics. But there's basically this one section with my friends. Like a lot of it was just me, and then there were my friends. Yeah, but there was also like two. I'll give up on this explanation, but what I'll say is I did post in the end, but I realized I actually posted to my close friends because I didn't, and I don't have anyone on my close friends. So in reality, I didn't post this publicly. I just posted it privately. And it actually felt kind of nice, interestingly. Like, maybe that's what it was, where I just felt like I needed to post for the sake of posting. And I think that signals something deeper, that I feel like I'm lacking in some sort of attention, and that I need to validate myself through other people by posting, and them seeing my pictures and seeing how attractive I am, or how well dressed I can be, or how put together I can look, or how many friends I have. So the post that I put on close friends, it was all just friends. And I would consider that more on the modest take, but you could also say, well, this guy has so many friends, he must be so popular. So that might be why I actually posted it. And I think that could be the actual reason, like, not even joking, not even being sarcastic. Could be to showcase, hey, I have all these friends, and look at me, look at how popular I am. But I was really overthinking it. I spent so much time last night. I spent a ton of time thinking over it, and then today when I woke up, I spent a lot of time thinking over it, like at least an hour. It was a lot of time, and like dissecting, analyzing. Okay, how many posts does this guy have? Okay, that's good. How many posts does this girl have? Okay, yeah. Okay, so I want something like this. Okay, and what order should I put them in? Okay, yes, and I was very surgical about it. I mean, that's my nature, but for this, I don't want to be surgical about this. I shouldn't care that much about this. I'm ashamed that I care so much about this, about my social media presence, about my social media profile. But it is important, because if you get a girl's Instagram, then she's going to see the photos that you have. And you should have photos, but you want the best photos. And it's tough finding the best. Sometimes you overthink what people think of you, and that's a sign you're insecure. You shouldn't need to care what people think. Yeah, today I watched Instagram Reels for at least an hour as well. So I hate when that happens. And I take steps to prevent it, but it also makes me laugh a lot. So it does, like, it's not wasted, but I could be doing something better. But sometimes I just need a laugh. And the Reels really manage to do that. And the problem is when I keep on scrolling. You want to show your best self on IG even if it's decent. I'm just thinking about, there was a little experiment. So the reason why reels can be so addicting is because some of the reels are really funny and others are not. And I don't think that's a bug. That's a feature. That's intentional. So the reason they do that is because there was this experiment that was done. Oh man, I forgot what it was called. It was like oh, we learned this in psychology, but I forgot the name of the guy. B.F. Skinner. B.F. Skinner did the experiment, and it was some sort of conditioning. Conditioning. Behavioral conditioning. Ah man, I forget. So there was constant stimulus basically. So a rat would press the experiment was, a rat would get food when he pressed the button every single time. A rat would get the food when he pressed the button only some of the time, and the rat would never get food if he no matter how many times he pressed the button. So for the first one, the rat would just keep on pressing the button, and he would get food, and then he'd finally become bored, and he wouldn't, like, he'd be satiated. It'd be okay. Like he'd have enough food, and he'd be like, okay, done. Now the second, I guess I'll skip to the third one. The third one, he pressed the button, and no matter how many times he did it, nothing happened. So he gave up, and he didn't do anything. He never pressed the button again, and he died from starvation. But the second rat, the second rat, he would press the button, and sometimes he would get food. So he would keep on pressing the button, and he'd be even more addicted than the first rat, because he didn't know when he was going to get that reward, when he was going to get that stimulus. Actually, no, it wasn't food. It was dopamine. They hooked up a thing that would stimulate your brain to stimulate the rat's brain to make dopamine, to produce dopamine. So he would spam that way more than the first rat, and it was completely addicting. So that's what I was thinking with Instagram Reels. Like, there's a lot of Reels that are just bad, and it's almost intentional. It is intentional. I mean, I don't think they could curate a full Reel set that you would love anyways. No, they probably could. They probably could, yeah. Yeah, the other problem with Instagram, and everyone knows this, is you want to show your best self on Instagram, even if it's just your decent day. And you want to pose it as the best. So, I don't know, you're on vacation and you want to pose it as you're in paradise. You're not on vacation, you're in paradise. You're in the best place in the world. You're at the peak of humanity. And then when people see this, they're like, wow, man, I wish I was in paradise. I wish I was over there. Why doesn't this happen to me? But it's not like that. That's not the truth. They're probably like, it's probably an okay vacation, but they're like, oh, I gotta get this scenic pic. It looks so beautiful. Lastly, 33 minutes, damn. I've been getting into music making, and I'm gonna buy music equipment. Yeah, I'm gonna buy. There's, oh my goodness. You have to be in my mind. So sometimes I think of random thoughts, and so the reason I say this is because I can't really just laugh and get off topic and then just not explain why I was laughing. So now I have to explain it. I was just thinking of those Instagram Reels where you see a normal video, so something like this where somebody's talking and it's completely normal, or just a normal video in general, and then you skip ahead and then the guy is just like going absolutely bonkers, like covered in chocolate, for example, or just like just the most random thing. So I was thinking of doing that. And And you can just picture what I was thinking, I guess, that I don't need to actually do it. That might be a bit insane. Okay, been getting into music making, yeah. I'm gonna buy music equipment, so I'm gonna buy a mic, a better mic than this, because my vocals are awful right now. And I think it's the mic. I hope it's the mic. Because if it's not the mic, then I don't think I can do vocals. And I have autotune too. My friend was just saying, just put autotune over it. I did. Just put more. No, like it doesn't, like it's bad. Like I'd have to show you, but I'm not gonna show you. And I think it's the mic. I hope it's the mic. I really hope it's the mic. So I'm gonna buy a mic and hopefully better audio for this as well. Audio interface. Yeah, I'm gonna buy an audio interface and hook it up, be able to hook it up with my guitar. I have an electric guitar that I brought here to make beats and to get better at guitar, obviously, but to make beats primarily. Get better at guitar so I can make beats. That makes more sense. And I have considered getting a MIDI keyboard even, where a MIDI keyboard controller, so something with a keypad, probably 2 octaves, and then also a drum pad, so you could tap out the patterns. And I think it has a couple of other things. I think it has the whammy bar equivalent for a piano, the pitch wheel. Yeah, has a couple of other things, but I don't really know what they do yet. Thank you for joining me. It's yeah, always appreciate when people listen to this, and if they actually enjoy listening like that, that whether I want to admit it or not, like it does make me happy, and I'm glad that people take something away from this.